Hello everyone, we're now doing chapter 6. This is the test case, Microsoft Access within the chapter, not the homework itself. Again, we're using the WMCRM database that we have been creating thus far, except for chapter 5. All right, so the types of security that we have in Microsoft Access, we can create security in 3 ways: by creating a trusted location for Microsoft Access database storage, by password encrypting and decrypting Microsoft Access databases, and by deploying database package with digital signatures. So we're going to look at each one of these. The first one that they're asking us to do is to talk about trusted locations. So if you remember, every time we've been opening up our databases, we always have to say enable content. We only have to do this once, obviously, every time that we open it up, but it could be a little bit annoying to have to do that each and every time. So we're going to open it up, and then we're going to click on Enable Content like we normally do. And then I want you to go over here to File, and then come down here to Options. The Options command gives you kind of like a backstage view of what's going on in the background. So once you've done that, you want to go to click on the Trust Center, which is down here. And once you've clicked on that Trust Center, you want to click on Trust Center Settings. Okay. Then it says to click on the Trusted Locations button. Okay, I've done that. All right. So it would show only the trusted locations so far that are available, listed on this page in this window. Click Add New Location. Okay. So I've done that. Once you've done that, you're going to click on the Browse button. And it wants to establish a trusted place to put this file so that it's always in a trusted location, and once you're using it from that location, you never have to click on that enable content again. That content will always be enabled for you. So once you've done that, you want to go to the Document Center right here. And once you have done that, you want to click New Folder. And you want to say My Trusted Locations, or location, excuse me. When you finish typing in that information, you click the Enter key or click on OK. And now you have a new trusted location here. Okay, so that's essentially what they discuss on page 396, 397. And then they just kind of go through giving you screenshots all the way over to page 400. Okay, so now that we've created the folder, we're going to go ahead and highlight it to make sure that this is our trusted location there. Say OK. You can see now it's listed there, and we're going to say OK. All right, I've actually already done it, so it's saying, well, why are you doing it again? But that's okay. So now you can see that it's listed here under this path list as my trusted location, and you could say OK, and then OK again. So we're going to go ahead and close this database out. And then it's asking us to make a copy of this database and go under that folder, my trusted location, and to go ahead and paste it here. But they also want us to rename it. So we're going to rename it to version 2. And when we double click on it and open it up, notice we don't get that enable content option up at the top. So on page 400, it's just essentially asking us to do those steps I just said, and then it asks us to open it and to make sure that we don't have that enable content button, because now we are in a trusted location, so we should be okay. So that's fine. Now it says we can go ahead and close it out, so we will do that. So now that we have done that, and I don't know why my window won't move. That's interesting. Okay, now that we have done that, we want to use the new copy in our trusted location and make yet another copy of it to create data encryption passwords. All right, so it says each password should be a strong password, includes lowercase, uppercase letters, numbers, and special characters, and symbols if necessary. and be a minimum of 15 characters in length. That's a really tough one to do, but it is obviously best to make sure that we have enough characters to try to avert any unnecessary or unauthorized access to our database. So it asks us on page 401 to create yet another copy of our WMCRM database 203. So we're going to copy this one yet again, paste it, and rename to number 3, and then delete this copy. And once we have that created, we can just minimize that window. And now it's asking us to go back into Access. So we'll bring that back up. Now it's saying go to Open, Browse, go to our trusted location, and only click on this once. And they want us to come over here to this Open window, or Open option rather, and they want us to click on the drop-down box that is available over on this as an option. Once we've done that, we want to say click Open Exclusive button. Okay, so we see that the security warning that it says enable content did not come up, so that's good. So once we've done that, we want to come over here and click on File. And we want to say encrypt with password. We're now on page 402. So once we've done that, you shall have a box that comes up that says to set the password. In the password text box, they want us to type in the password AW06 plus. So they want us to type in AW06 and then add a password. So I'm going to say NCCU Eagles 19 exclamation point. I believe that's enough letters there. So AW06 NCCU Eagles 19 with an exclamation point. Once you've put in your password, you're going to get a box that comes up that says encrypting with a block cipher is incompatible with row level locking. Row level locking will be ignored. Say that 3 times fast. You can just say okay there. Okay. Once you've completed that, you can check the encryption action by clicking on File, Command button, and you can see here now it says decrypt database. We have obviously encrypted it with a password. All right. And then we can say close, and we've closed that particular database. Now it's saying let's go back in and double check to make sure that the password worked. So let's go back here and say open. We can see here's our database, and now it's asking for a password. So let's go ahead and check that out and see if that worked. And look at that. By typing in the password I created, everything came up. Perfect. So that worked out very well. So for this next part, on page 404, we're talking about securing the VBA in Microsoft Access. So it's Visual Basic for applications, and although we don't really need to understand how the VBA works in Microsoft Access, we need to know how to be able to secure it when necessary. So we have a new command that we're going to learn. It's called the ACCDE command to compile and hide the VBA code. So that although it's working in the background, the users can no longer see or modify that code. And that's very important as a DBA, that you have that ability to do that, and that you hide that so that other people can't inadvertently go in and change items within that coding. So the new extension we're going to be using is the .accde file extension. So that's .accde file extension. So in the next steps we're going to do, we're going to take that WMCRM database and we're going to make another copy. But we want to do it with the one that we have not been using so far, because we want to be able to close that out and go here. We want to use an earlier version without the password. So we want to take the version 2 that we were using earlier, go ahead and copy that, and then we're going to paste it. and we're going to rename this again to version 4 and take out all of that. Okay, and once we've done that, they would like us to go ahead and open it. And once again, we don't get that security warning. It tells us number 4 on page 405. Then they want us to go to the file commands to get our little backstage view. And they want us to go to the Save As button. And they want us to say Make a CCDE file. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And then click on Save As. And then we're under that trusted location file like we should be. And we now have ACCDE. So we have version 4, but ACCDE. And then we're going to go ahead and say Save. So when we go look here at all of the files we've created so far, we have our ACCDB that we created, which is our database, and our ACCDE, which is our encrypted database. All right. So that's completed on page 405. Now they want us to actually open that particular database. So that we see that we have that here, we're going to go ahead and click on it. And you can see it's just the same as any of the other database versions, except we don't have the password requirement as we did with version 3. But we have all the same information that we have created before. This just has locked the Visual Basic elements so that they cannot be modified. So we're going to go ahead and close that, and we can actually close this one out as well. Okay, now on page 407, they are talking about creating a signed package in Microsoft Access. So a digital signature scheme, which is a public key cryptography. They call it an asymmetric cryptography. There's 2 encryption keys, private key and public key. But essentially, these are really outside the scope of what we're learning here. All you really need to know is that a digital signature is a way to guarantee to another user of the database that you've created that it is indeed from us and it is safe to use. So in order to use the digital signature, we have to go find the self-cert.exe utility that's within Microsoft Access 2016. So to do that, you're going to come down here to your C drive, and you're going to go under your program files. You're going to go to Microsoft Office. You're going to go to Root in Office 16, and then we're just going to scroll down until we find that self-cert. You could also go and search if you wanted to. This is just as easy, but you can see here's the file right here. Okay. So once we've found that, you want to go ahead and double click, and you'll get this Create Digital Certificate box. And in the certificate box, you want to type in Digital Certificate AW06-01 and then click OK. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's say digital. Oh, they're asking us to put dashes in there. Get AW06-01. And then we're going to say OK. So the certificate should be created. You should get this box that says it's successfully done. All right. And then we can just say OK. And that should close it out. Then on page 408, it says now how are we going to utilize that? So creating a Microsoft Access signed package, you're going to go to that ACDE file that we created back in our trusted location. Here it is here. And we're going to open it and then go to File for our little backstage view here. And then we're going to say click Save As. We want to go to Package and Sign, and then click Save As here. And then it says Confirm Certificate. Once this box comes up, you want to click on Click here for View Certificate Properties. And then you'll get the certificate details that are listed there. We are now on page 409 at the bottom to show you exactly what that looks like. And you can see here Digital Certificate AW0601. Issued by this, it's valid from this date to this date. You have a private key that corresponds with this certificate. So we're going to say OK. So we've confirmed all of that, and then click OK again. And then we have this File Explorer window that comes up to create the Microsoft Access signed package. It's listed here. Okay, and when we've done that, you can see it's still under My Trusted Location. It has a new file extension, ACCDC. You can see now we've gone ahead and created that. Okay, so now that that is completed, we'll just go ahead and close that out. And now it's saying that under our Documents folder, they want us to create a new document library. We could just right-click here and say New Folder. And this new folder is going to be My Distributed Databases. Can't type today, folks. Sorry about that. Okay. And once we've done that, they want us to copy this particular database, which has the ACCDC extension. So that is the one that has our digital certificate. And we're going to go back to Documents and go under Distributed Databases and paste it here. Okay, so there is our copied database there. Now, they want us to go back to Access. We are now on page 410. They want us to go back into Access, and so they want us to go and find the new database we just created. So you're going to go to My Distributed Databases. You see there's nothing listed here. That's because we need to go over here and change it to All Files so that we can see everything that's in there. And there is our file now available. We're going to go ahead and click the Open button. And then we get potential security concern has been identified. When you get this security risk, we want to go ahead and say open because we do want to be able to open it. This says extract database to. So essentially, once we've clicked open, we're going to extract the database, which is essentially saying save as. That's essentially what it means. And then we're going to browse to My Distributed Databases. And we're going to say OK. And then we get this security risk again. We're just going to say OK, say open rather again, and there we go. Database will open for us. All right, so the encrypted database essentially, and now we've opened it as an ABCDE file, which means that it's still encrypted with all of the VBA saved in the background that cannot be changed, but it is a trusted database that can be opened by any user, and that it does belong to us, so it's essentially verified. Okay, so it's they call a signed package database. And then if you go back and take a look at your Windows Explorer, now you have the ACCDC and the ACCDE, which is listed there. Okay, you don't have to worry about this one. It's a temporary file that's opened, so you don't have to worry about that at all. That's it. That's everything that has been requested of us for this particular lesson. When you go on to page 416 to start your Access Workbench, it's essentially going to ask you to do almost everything that we just did with the WP database. So if there's any questions, please feel free to contact us. Otherwise, have a good day.